In education, there are a couple of very important concepts that we need to control. And having control of these concepts will enable us to construct educational systems. The first concept is what is knowledge. And the second one is what is learning. We live in a world where we want to feel safe, where we want to feel certainty, where we see an objective world which we can know without doubt. Unfortunately, this does not appear to be how things are. The way things are is very different. Knowledge seems to be an internal construction by individuals, and each person's knowledge is different from that of other people. Let me explain why. We are what is called embodied. We live inside bodies. We live inside a physiological cage. We believe, in many cases, that our mind lives inside our brain somewhere, in some way, and is somehow related to it. And this has really very serious implications. One of the implications is that, in fact, we never perceive the world as it is. Why? Because we are trapped inside our bodies, the communication between our mind and the real world is mediated by the nervous system, our senses, touch, smell, and so on. And we know that this system is actually quite fragile. We know it's fragile because if we injure the nerves, we do not get the same signals as with an uninjured nerve. If the nerve is drugged in some way, we do not feel it as when it is not drugged. We know that if our bodies are not functioning well, the signals that we get are different from when our bodies are in good shape. Now, what does that mean? This means that we cannot rely on the signals that come in as mirroring, being an exact mirror of reality. The signals are always subject to physiological changes and physiological abnormalities, or the way our body is constructed. The second thing that we know, and we don't have to do experiments for this, the second thing that we know is that those perceptions that we get through our nervous system are modified or interpreted according to our histories. They're modified or interpreted according to our past experience, all of our past experience. This accounts for things like everybody is exposed to the same smell, for example. Let's say the smell of cooking. Some people will feel that this smell is nice. Some people will feel that this smell is not nice. Those understandings and those reactions are not based on a physiological analysis of the smell. The smell is the same for everybody, but are based on the experiences that people have accumulated over time. So, for instance, in many cultures, the smell of cooking is good, is pleasant. In American culture, for example, the kitchen is the center of the household. Everybody is invited to come and stay there and contribute and participate in the social events of the kitchen with the pleasantness of the smells of cooking. In other cultures, for example, Thai culture, quite often the smell of cooking is not regarded as pleasant. People hide it away from guests, and in some cases, again in the Thai context, a kitchen is put outside the house so that no one can actually access it other than the cook. These differences are not based on, these notions of nice and not nice are not based on objective analyses of the smell which comes to us, but rather on the notion of culture which directs us and past experience. And in that sense, culture and past experience are very connected. Culture tells us whether something is good or bad, and our experience tells us the same thing, either confirms it or denies it. So we have a combination of events which enable us to perceive the signals which are sent to us. Those signals are therefore perceptions, what we see in our heads, what we know in our heads, are not objective realities, but are actually the product of a construction of our minds.